I could think of hundreds of things that are more fun to do than budgeting, like traveling, going out to dinner with friends, or going to Disneyland. However, imagine what it would be like to do all those fun activities without feeling guilty every time you spent money. In this video, I'm going to be showing you my budgeting method that I've used for years, and this is the method that helped us pay off all of our student loans and now gives us complete financial freedom to do and buy so many things. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. For budgeting, it is muy importante to do this in the beginning of the month so you have a game plan. There are 4 steps when it comes to budgeting: earn, categorize, strategize, and spend. Step 1. Earn. Add up the total amount of income you will be receiving for the month. Do your best to think of every little bit of income that will be coming in. Think of your daily job, your side hustles, any pensions, dividends, accrued interest from high-yield savings accounts, and so on. If it's income, put it down. Also, you want to total up your dollar amount after tax because this is the money that you're going to be working with this month. For this example, let's say my total amount for planned income is $4,811. For me, I always underestimate what I'm going to be getting for the month, and this is to give me some buffer. I get paid twice a month. If you get paid only once a month or more than twice a month, that's totally fine. By no means do you have to use a spreadsheet. If you are a pen and paper person, I do have a free PDF download which you can find in my description below. There are some limits to using paper, but it can be done really well. If you do decide that you want to use a spreadsheet for your budget, I'll be sure to link mine below. Step 2. List out all the major expense categories that you have for the month. I have some of my typical expense categories that I personally use, such as housing, transportation, health, generosity, home supplies, personal care, clothing, work and school, entertainment, lifestyle, groceries, restaurants, subscriptions, miscellaneous, savings, debt payments, and etc. In each major category, I also have subcategories. For me, under housing, I'll usually put rent, internet, electricity, and water and gas. Here you can also put the HOA fees or cable bill and so on. For transportation, I have our gas bills. We don't have a car payment as our cars are already paid off, but if I do have to get a car wash or buy some oil, we'll put that here as well. When it comes to car insurance, if you pay it monthly, you can put that here as well. Or if you pay for car insurance once a year like us, I'll be sure to get to that once we get to sinking funds and I'll show you what to do. Then I fill out the other categories. Type. I also make sure to have an entertainment section and vacation savings area. Now, if you don't know all the expenses that you typically have in a month, what I suggest is taking your bank statements for the last 3 months and printing them out and taking a look. Then from there, you can figure out your subcategories. Okay, if you're starting to zone out, remember, this is freedom for fun, so just stick with me. If you have total control of your finances, then you totally can buy that thing that you've been eyeing for a while, or go on that trip that you've been wanting to go on for so long. And you could do this stress-free and guilt-free. You earned this. So stay with me. We are going for guilt-free spending here, people. If you do like guilt-free spending, then I'll have plenty more resources, which I'll have on my website linked below, and this will be to make all of our lives a little easier. The next step is to assign every dollar a purpose. Now that you have your planned income and all your expense categories, we now need to come up with a game plan. This is a major proactive step when it comes to financial freedom. So next to each item, write down how much you plan on spending for that item. I have a few items set on autopay, so for my rent, I will put $1,000. Then I will go down into internet, electricity, and water and gas. I'll always put the date the payment is due if it's set on autopay. Some people also strategically sign up their auto payments at a certain time of the month depending on when they get paid. For the other items that are not subscription or autopay, I'll just put a number that I plan on spending for the month. An example is for groceries. Since I haven't gone shopping yet, I'll just put $300 here in the planned column. I also want to budget for my Korean skincare, so I'll put $50 right here. It's always better to overestimate your expenses just by a little. Remember, underestimate your income and overestimate your expenses just by a little, just for some buffer. If you don't know how much you normally spend, like I mentioned before, go ahead and just print out the last 3 months of your bank statements, and then you can see from there where you spent your money. Then I'm going to do the rest of the month. Also, these numbers are just an example. You do you for what makes sense with your income. If you currently have some consumer debt, then be sure to add your debt into a category as well and plan for it. If you don't have any debt, then that money is yours to keep and you can disperse that anywhere you want. Good work. If you are saving up for a house or a trip, then totally take that into account. For us, we don't have consumer debt, so I'm going to take that $1,742 and I'm going to put it towards vacation and house savings. Earlier, I talked about car insurance and how I don't pay monthly for that. What I do instead is I pay my car insurance once a year on auto pay as one lump sum because for me, it's a lot cheaper. It super stinks to go about your month and then you have to pay like $1,000 or $2,000 towards a payment that you knew was coming, but it just kind of sucks because it's coming out of your budget. Instead, what you do is you make something called a sinking fund. For example, my birthday is in September, so every month I'm putting aside a little bit of money so by the time September rolls around, I can have an awesome birthday month. Once I finish assigning every dollar a purpose, I take a look at the game plan. Now remember, we had our planned income at $4,811, so our planned budget should be also $4,811. Every dollar has a purpose, whether that's to give, save, or spend. Since the month hasn't started yet, I have $4,811 remaining to spend. Now let's say I had $4,811 to spend for the month, but I only assigned $4,736. Then the orange section and orange graph will show me that I still have $75 left to budget. Once I start spending though, the bars will start moving. Okay, I'll finish up the month and make sure everything looks good. Yep, looks good. Okay, the hard part is done and now it's time for the fun part, which is to spend that money. As the month goes by, enter in the amount you spent into all the categories that you budgeted for. For housing, I spent the exact amount I budgeted for because these were on autopay. Let's fill in the rest of these categories with numbers and dates. I also made this little cell down here turn yellow when there's money remaining to spend, red if I go over, and green if the planned minus spent equals 0. This is a zero-based budget where the goal is to have every dollar have a purpose, whether it's to give, save, or spend. So the goal is to be at 0. But let's say towards the end of the month, I didn't need to buy anything for work, even though I budgeted $30. I now have $30 left to spend. I can either put this $30 towards savings, or I could spend it. Keeping track of your spending can help you stay on track with paying off your debt, or it can help you save up for bigger items. But make sure to keep track of all your bank accounts where the money's coming out, as well as any cash purchases. Also, let's say the month already started and you got some unexpected money from selling your old bookshelf on Facebook Marketplace, gift money, or maybe even the coins you found on the street. Put that money into your monthly income as well, and then you're going to assign that money to a category of your choice. As you are going through your month, it's important that your planned budget equals your spent money. If not, keep adjusting your budget as needed. Also, it's good to take a look at your spending breakdowns and see where you have been spending. The cool thing about using spreadsheets is once it's a new month, you just copy it, rename it, and adjust it from there. If you are new to budgeting, it normally takes 3 months to get good and to get faster. Remember, stress-free finances, you got this. Now I mentioned that budgeting can give you so much freedom to do so many things without feeling guilty. This includes traveling with no financial stress. If you like traveling, my next video covers my free travel budget and planner, and I'll link that right here.